Good morning, folks. Thanks for joining us. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Our webcast software on the laptop wasn't working with the Wi-Fi here, so we're just going straight to the phone.
Exactly.
So we got 30 people. We'll wait a few more people to come in and we'll start answering some questions. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. That's good. Want to mention, by the way, this will be archived, so if you didn't get a chance to get in on the live view, you can rewatch the video later on our YouTube channel. So I think we'll begin. Ken, why don't you give us your impressions of the Model 3 and the test ride, and then we'll get right into the nitty-gritty of the details.
Well, the event was awesome. It was what we expected and more. I think the test drives was an added bonus.
Yeah, we were not expecting.
We were not expecting that. We were told a while ago that that there were no test drives, so that was a welcome surprise. The car is, as you said earlier, when you saw it back at the VIP event, the car is stunning in person. Pictures do not do it justice, even though you know, it got darker by the time we got the test drives. There was enough lighting. You could really see the lines. You could really see the curves of it, the sculpture of the vehicle.
The creases on the hood, right? I told you about that.
You know, it's just a nice looking car. The headlights, the driving lights, everything about it is just really awesome. As you can hear, but no video.
Can you guys tell us if you see the video? Yep. Okay, good.
Okay,
all right,
good.
sorry about that.
We got a comment there.
All right, good. Thanks, guys.
So, a beautiful car, lovely car. The ride impressions were awesome. I think that the main thing that struck me from the ride was how quiet it is. I believe it's even quieter than the Model S. We didn't get up to a high speed, but just moving around, the guy had the radio on very low, but it was just ultra quiet.
Dead quiet.
Really
really
quiet.
Good sound dampening on the car.
We were talking very softly in the car. I was in the back seat. I could hear you guys in the front, easy. It was just a really pleasurable experience. I mean, from a size perspective, you know, I did some tweets this morning about the back seat. It's a compact car back seat. Leg room, I had at least a fist, or if not more, from the knees to the back seat. You were in the front seat, so I sat behind you, and you had the seat all the way back. So there's definitely enough room for 4. 5 is going to be a little squish, but that's normal in that class of car.
Yeah.
Overall headroom, there was probably that much more headroom at least, as it rakes down. Really nice. Overall impressions, the fit and finish. Part of being quiet, no rattles, no squeaks. I mean, everything was solid, you know, solid sound and feel when you close the doors. Easy to open it, push the button with your thumb, and the door just kind of pops open.
That's the one thing, because that's a common question you get a lot, is where are the door handles to open it? So the Model 3 has grab handles, much like a BMW 3 Series. You grab the grab handle, and the thumb, the button to open the door is just over to the side. You just move your thumb about that much, and you just press the button, and that's how you open the door.
Yep.
Open
it very easy.
Yeah, and it's lit, so you can see it at night, so you can't miss it. I was sitting in the front seat, tons of headroom. I was looking up like this, and it was like way up here. I noticed that the cross beam from driving a Model S is pushed back a little further, so that combined with the dash being much lower, visibility out of the front was excellent. Now, I was hyper focused on the materials of the car when I first got in. I was like touching everything. Everything that I could touch in the car was soft touch. So the dash, the doors, the console. There's a little bit of hard plastic, and unfortunately we can't post any pictures right here, but maybe we'll do something in the show later on where the vents are. That's hard plastic. The headliner in the car is Alcantara. It's the artificial suede. There's Alcantara on the doors, on the inserts, so that's a nice touch as well.
And it's not black, it's all a lighter color.
The headliner was like a gray or something. It's hard to say because it was late at night. Yeah. The interior on these cars we were told, these are the premium interiors. It's part of the $5,000 premium package, which gives you a whole pile of stuff. Tesla has a link on their site, and you can see all the different features that are included there. And let me see here. What else? Oh my God, there was just so much to go over.
Bingo card, I have to bring that up, and the key card.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I had a magnet with me. Tested the door panels. This car is aluminum door panels, folks. This is not steel. Now, I'm sure there's steel in the car, but everything that I could touch was aluminum. So take it as you will.
Yeah, we're guessing that obviously the safety cage is going to be steel. If you saw the video that was shown by Elon as far as the crash test, the offset pole or side impact test that they did, how the structure retained its rigidity on the impact versus the Volvo that he compared it to. It was quite a dramatic difference. I was very surprised by that.
They showed a crash video, and we've got it on our camera and stuff. When we do our show, we'll put it up in the back. And they showed that compared, what was it, a Volvo?
Volvo, yeah.
Man, this car is going to be safe, especially for side impacts. Those are brutal.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
In that classic car.
Like the applause that this thing got was just immense. It was really, really crazy. What are we dealing with
now, key card, there's been a lot of chat. I see the questions there, yeah.
So the first thing I did, I got in the car is I went right to the cup holder, and there and behold is indeed a little little booklet that holds the key cards. The key cards are NFC, near field communications. We told that it's a backup to the phone app. So you have to have the Tesla app on your phone, and it will automatically unlock the car proximity. That's done through Bluetooth. But the key card is a backup.
Which is about 30 feet, I think.
Yeah, and you unlock the door by swiping it on the B pillar, so that the
where
middle
the camera is.
Yeah, you just swipe it like that, and it unlocks the car. So it's a different take, but I think part of it is for ride sharing in the future.
Sense, yeah.
So people can have key cards that are authorized by you or something, and they can just swipe in.
Yes,
anyways,
we found our coffee.
Yes, thank you.
There's McDonald's next door.
Let me see here. What else? Code hooks, Mike. Ken.
There are Mike, Fred, Harry. You can call me whatever. We're still half asleep here. Yes, there are 2 code hooks in the back seat, one on each side, and
they're flush, right?
They're flush, and you push them in, and they pop out. Basically, they come down.
And you can tell us about the overhead lights?
Overhead lights, so there's a good picture. If you look at the press kit or the Google Photos page of the Model 3 or a bunch of other pictures that are out there, the Motor Trend, you'll see the interior. You see the 2 dome lights in the back.
There's a little strip between them?
Yeah, there's a little strip with 2 lights. You just push them in, they click, they come on, and they basically illuminate kind of your center section out in front of you. So if you were holding a book or something on your lap.
You said it was like a Model X where you touch it and they come on soft and they go off soft.
They come on right away, but they go off and they dim.
And they dim.
So
okay,
when you push it again, they dim. It doesn't go off at that split second. So it's a nice little classy feature.
And the center armrest in the back seat folds down, and there's 2 cup holders?
I grabbed it, pulled it down. There's 2 cup holders kind of linked together with a bit of a slot between
like
them.
in the front?
Like in the front,
Okay.
Yeah.
And the rear center console in the back, there's 2 vents and 2 USB ports, right? Okay, good. I'll just talk about the front a little bit because I spent a lot of time on the driver's side touching everything. So first I'll get to the good stuff here in a minute, folks. But so the center console. There is a considerable amount of storage space in the center console. In front of the cup holders, the cup holders, by the way, are in a great place. Not like the Model S, so they're in a really great place. So the front console has 2 doors. You just push on it and they just kind of tilt up automatically. And there's room to put stuff in there. And the front one, when you open, has a thing that you lift up, and it has looks like slots to put phones in, like a dead blind insert. I'm told that that's part of the premium package. We'll see. The interior is all flocked. It's nice soft touch materials on there. The armrest lifts up, and there's storage space underneath. But interestingly, the storage space goes from there all the way to the front, and it's open underneath the cup holders. So you can actually stick your arm underneath the cup holders. So there's lots of storage space in there. I had a chance to look at the glove box. The glove box is not big. I mean, the actual door opening looks big, but when it opens up, it's pretty shallow. Right. So you're not going to put a lot of stuff in there, maybe a couple of books and stuff, but some people want to put things like a laptop or something. It's not going to happen. There's not enough room for that. So yeah, a little disappointed with that, but hey, what do you want? Shallow dash.
There are door pockets, so you can put a cup of coffee.
Front and back. So now Tesla's finally learned that people need to put bottles and stuff. So that's really glad to see that. You know what? My takeaway from the Model 3 interior is they fixed all the deficiencies from the Model S. Now the Model S has to catch up because the Model S now, I think, is not as good as the Model 3. The fit and finish, from what we were able to see in the car, the gaps are tight on this car. The fit and finish on everything on the car is exemplary. This is going to compete very well with the BMW 3 Series. They've done a really, really good job on the fit and finish of this car. Okay, so the other big elephant in the room is about that center screen. So the first thing, I've been getting a lot of comments on people asking that thing's going to fall off. It looks like it's glued on there. No. I grabbed it. As soon as I got in the car, I grabbed it and I tugged on it, and it's solid. It is not moving. It does not tilt.
Or another way to say tug is reefed on it.
Yeah, I reefed on that thing. Yeah, so the screen is fixed in place. It does not tilt, and it doesn't tilt this ways. It's fixed. However, the positioning of the screen was excellent because, and unfortunately I can't show you here on videotape, but I was able to just do a little bit of reach out like that and just touch it as a passenger. So it's...
And from the rear I could see everything, clearly.
It is perfectly positioned
nice.
For either a driver or a passenger to interface with the screen. So let's talk about the screen in general. So the screen is split. It's basically a quarter to a third on the driver's side that shows you the car information. So you get the speed, you get what drive you're in, you get all the autopilot data. It shows you all the, the sensors and stuff. There's some good pictures here. So that is great. So what they've done is they've used that first third of the screen to what you would normally see in an instrument cluster, say on a Model S. So and it's well done. There's some buttons on the bottom to open things like the glove box and your voice control. So there's no. We'll talk about the steering wheel.
Yep.
So that's really well laid out. The rest of the screen is really taken up. The background is really the nav. The nav is what is really front and center on the car. And then when you tap on media and the other settings, they come up as overlays. But the map is always in the back because, let's face it, that's the most important part of the screen. So that was really cool. Most of the settings along the bottom are just little icons. You just tap on them and it brings up different overlays. The HVAC, let's talk about the HVAC system.
You got to play with it, or
I got to play with it. So this is
so this is pretty unique.
Yeah, so this is one of the biggest questions we get is what about the HVAC system? Now they were very keen on giving demos about this. They're not coy about it now.
Yep.
So what happens is on the center screen, right dead center, just like you have on a Model S, there's a little fan icon. When you tap on that, it brings up a HUD. Sorry, folks, I'm not using HUD in the literal sense, but it brings up this user interface that allows you to control the fan speed and stuff. But on either side, there are two squares with a crosshair in the middle and what look like two little bullet icons or pills. And you use those to move around electronically the vents in the slit. So the slit runs from driver's side to passenger side all the way across, and that's where the air flows out. And by using this interface, you can simulate what you would do on a normal vent where you would just move it up and down or sideways. It's all electronic. There's no physical buttons or anything. It's all done on the screen. When we do our show, I'll post a video. You can see it. I mean, just YouTube it and stuff. There's plenty of videos that came out. It's really slick. So they have an interface where you can just tap on it and position it where you want. But they also have a pinch one where you can actually do a diffuse and it spreads it out. I was able to confirm there's another slit in the front that acts as the window defroster, so no fears about defrosting your windows. There is a speaker grill underneath some cloth in the front, so there's speakers there. There's speakers in the A-pillars, speakers in the doors, front and back. Let me see here. What else was there? The screen was very crisp. The colors are excellent on this. It automatically switches between day mode and night mode. So you don't have to worry about that, or you can just go into settings and stuff and switch that around. Yeah, so the interface is very similar to a Model S, except that they've just rearranged everything, of course, being that it's horizontal. It looks like a high-res screen. There's a question here. Yeah, it's definitely high-res.
Very clear. I could see it clearly from the back.
And I'll tell you right now, the user interface on this, now we didn't see a web browser or anything like that, but the controls, when you tap on things, it's very, very fast.
Yes.
So it looks like they're using a new CPU.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're doing the vents, it was real time.
It was real time.
It's moving.
Yeah, so it's much faster. So hopefully they've upgraded the computer in the car for that. Yep. Now, let's talk about the steering wheel.
Yep.
So the other question is the steering wheel. Unfortunately, I was tweeting some time ago that we thought maybe the bottom portion was a touchpad. I touched it. He said no, it's not a touchpad.
We asked directly.
Yeah, we asked directly about that. The scroll wheels have up and down movement, so they scroll just like you would on a mouse wheel. But you can also tap them sideways. So there's micro switches right and left. They don't scroll like a scroll. You just push on it, and they're context sensitive, which means that depending on where you are in the screen, the scroll wheels will do different things. One of the things is the steering column does not have an adjuster on it to raise and lower it. That's done with the scroll wheel. So you go into your settings for a steering column and you use your scroll wheel to move the steering wheel up and down or back and forth. I thought that was pretty cool.
So that means the settings are almost infinite within that range to be able to do that.
Exactly. So that was really slick that ways. Again, there's only 2 stocks on it. We didn't get a chance to see what the windshield wiper situation was to activate it. I'm going to assume it's contextual. We could not see that. They were not able to test Autopilot last night because these are brand new cars, and of course the Autopilot needs some calibration, so they could not activate it. But it is on the drive stock, so you just tap down twice on it, it activates Autopilot. That's what we were told. I kind of expected that.
Yep.
Okay, so somebody earlier, I just remembered now. So what we were able to get last night is the manufacturing of the Model 3 is geared for larger battery packs first. That's what they're making. Rear-wheel drive only. And premium interior package first. All of the cheaper stuff will come later. All glass roof is standard, at least with the premium package. We were not able to get any other information, whether they're going to have other options for the roof later on. My gut feeling, glass only, but that's just me.
There was a question about if we saw any other roofs other than glass. No, everything we saw, even the day before, I got in early and I was at the track watching at 1.3 Model 3s go through the paces, and they all had glass roofs. So I think that's just going to be standard more so than a non-standard.
When you experience the glass roof, you won't want anything else. It looks so good. It just very airy feeling inside the car. I didn't feel cramped in the front. I'm very, very happy. At least we only saw the premium interiors. It felt great. It's a vegan interior. We were able to confirm that white is coming in the fall. So a couple more months, 3 months maybe. There will be a white option. So for those of you who want white, that's definitely going to happen. The $35,000 base car is coming later in the year, around November, and it's going to have different cloth seats or something like that. These are not cloth, by the way. They're vegan leather, if you will.
Very comfortable.
The stitching was really nice. It was impeccable on it. Everything felt very soft. I think it'd be very comfortable in the car. The seats were very comfortable. Had no qualms about that. The when they closed the door, it had a really nice, solid BMW feeling, clunk, thunk type of sound. Dead quiet. What else can we say? I mean, somebody was asking about the roof. They told us that there's little pockets, things there for the roof, for a roof rack. Those are standard. You don't have to pay extra for that.
Same as in the Model S. There's just little cutouts on the roof that you flip open a little door, and they have the anchor.
Yeah, but that's only in the panoramic roof. But on the Model 3, they've positioned them differently now, so that even if you have the all-glass roof, you have it. It's included. Yes. The other question is about hitches. I asked about hitches. We're not giving any information about that. Chances are, if they do that, it might be an aftermarket thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Like you can with the Model X. Originally with the Model X, you had to buy the hitch when you bought the car. Now it's available as a service aftermarket, or not aftermarket, but after delivery thing. Ken, you got some of the specs here we want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to correct. So the all-glass roof is part of the premium package. Somebody just corrected me on that. So, but as Trevor said, that's all they're making for the time being for now. So as part of the ordering process for the early deliveries, if you're going to get with the premium package. So there were some pricing discussions this morning that we saw, because they announced that the base prices are $35,000 for the standard, or what they call the shorter or standard range.
Before you get into that, let's talk about the battery situation.
Right.
So folks, you need to understand something here. We talked to a Tesla rep at length about this, about the battery situation. With the Model 3, Tesla is not talking about battery sizes anymore. They want to change the narrative. They want to talk about range now, because they felt that kilowatt hour, or talking about batteries in general, was confusing to people.
Right. A lot of people have no idea, right? They want to get to those new consumers that are not EV aware, that have no idea. Techno, they don't understand the technology or the verbiage that go along with that. So they want to make it simple to the consumer. You want X range or you want Y range, then that's what you can choose from. Doesn't matter how many batteries, what size it is. We understand it's probably between 60 and 80 kilowatt hour batteries in that range, or 75 to 80 for
and they made it fairly clear that the cars are not going to be badged.
Right.
So you will not be able to determine what battery pack is in the car, because they don't care. What you're going to see on the car is range, and range only. That will be the only discussion with the car.
So at the end of the day, that's really what matters.
Yeah, well, exactly. Who cares how big the battery pack is? Because who cares? I mean, it's range. That's what really matters.
Right now, we're used to looking at battery pack numbers and associating that with a range.
Yeah.
They've taken that first step.
Yeah, so they're taking that out of the narrative completely. Yep. They're just talking about range now with the Model 3, so don't expect badging on the car anymore. So the base car is 229 EPA rated miles, or estimated, but yeah, that's the thing. A little disappointed with that. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher. I know a lot of people are complaining, oh, it's not exceeding the Bolt and stuff, but
it's 18 miles.
Yeah, keep in mind, folks, the Model 3 compared to the Bolt has so much more going for this car. Yes. It has Autopilot. It has supercharging capabilities. The fit and finish is better. The interior finishes, like we drove a Bolt. Better. It looks better. We drove a Bolt.
And
the interior on the Bolt is, I mean, it's Fisher Price. This is a much nicer
car. And remember, this car, or the Teslas, are more software than they are hardware from a vehicle perspective. Yes, they're sexy, they're nice cars, they've got some really great technology, but underlying, as we've said for months now, the cars will change over time as OTA, over-the-air updates come out, new software elements, utilizing the existing hardware. You know, what you buy today could be much more enhanced in the next couple of years, 5 years down the road, and you can't say that with a Chevy Bolt or a Volt or anything else at this point in time that happens. An i3, whatever the case may be. They're great cars, don't get us wrong, but this is a strong differentiator in the Tesla lineup.
That's right. And the next price level is they have an introductory, well, not introductory, but the larger battery pack, or range as Tesla is calling it now, is $44,000 US. Yeah. It's a $9,000 premium for the larger pack. It has slightly better performance. It's rated at 5.1 seconds, 0 to 60, whereas the base one is 5.6. And there are some other options with the car. So right now what they're building is $49,000 cars, and what that gives you is the more range. It gives you the premium interior. Yep. The premium interior is a $5,000 option. It gives you the better material finishes. It gives you the wood dash on the inside. They wouldn't talk about anything else about headliner and stuff. The rear seats are heated.
Heated seating all through.
On that package. Yep. So but I forgot to ask about the steering wheel, but I'm going to assume it includes the steering wheel.
So they probably won't be a cold weather package like we're used to.
No, it'll be the tech package or the premium package. You'll have to get part of that. Yeah, so it's not separate anymore. You have to buy the premium to get everything. 12-way adjustable seats. It has a premium sound system in it. So those of you who want the premium sound, you don't have to buy it a la carte. You're going to buy one bundle. It gives you everything that you need. What else was there?
Of course, the glass roof, auto-dimming, power-folding heated side mirrors as well, which is part of the premium upgrade. LED fog lamps, which is what they had them outfitted. And the center console, somebody mentioned earlier here that the center console is part of the premium package.
Is it listed on there? Ambient lighting is included too.
Ambient lighting.
Ambient lighting. So the door pockets, the footwells were all lit. LED, very nice. Paint, black is standard, no cost. All the other colors are a $1,000 US upgrade. So that includes midnight silver, deep blue metallic, the silver metallic, pearl white, multi-coat red. Right?
And what colors are we going with since we're on that topic? Do we want to say?
Okay. Are we ready to reveal?
Yeah, sure.
You know what? After seeing the colors in person...
Do people really want to know what colors
people want to know. We're going to reveal our colors now, folks. Are you ready? Okay. So after seeing the colors in person, Ken's kind of had his mind made up for a while. I hadn't. So Ken, do the honors. What are you doing?
I'm going with pearl multi-white. I love it. It's a gorgeous color. It's much nicer in person, both in the daylight, because I've seen it with more light, and the nighttime it's stunning. Beautiful color. Yeah. Especially with the tinted roof, the black, that darker tint, it really gives it a beautiful look.
Okay, my turn?
Yeah.
My turn.
Drum roll.
Folks, when I first saw the Alpha prototype in that Hyper Silver, I was like, man, that ever nice. And I vacillated between red and blue. Never black. Black is not my thing. Saw the Midnight Silver. Really nice. But I've decided I'm going with silver.
Yay.
With the white interior.
Is that the Midnight Silver or the Silver Metallic?
No, silver.
Silver Metallic.
Yeah, just like the Alpha. I'm doing silver, and I'm going to do the white interior. So there you go, folks. We're not going to do a contest. We just figured we'd wait for the right moment and tell everybody. So those are our choices.
Wheel choices?
Yes. Okay, so the wheels, the standard Aero wheels, those black things that you've been seeing, we were able to confirm that the wheel is actually a forged aluminum, the 5-spoke thing, and these are like a not a plastic, but it's like a composite cover, whatever.
It's more durable than plastic.
They actually look better in person than it does in the pictures.
Might be a thick ABS. We couldn't touch them, so...
Yeah, they wouldn't let us get close to that. I'm not crazy about them. They look better in person. I don't think they're as ugly as people make them out to be. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not getting them. I'm going to spring for the 19-inch sport package. That's a $1,500 option. And those are the 19-inch with the Elvis pants, as we like to call them. The spokes there with the black cover or whatever the hell that thing is. The V-spoke. Yeah, the V-spoke. So those are really nice.
Yeah. So on that, the wheels will be an extra. The arrows will be standard at 18-inch rims. Any of the other wheel sizes, the V-spoke or the turbine, will be 19-inch rims, as they call it, sport.
Yeah, they're calling it sport, but it's a $1,500. Okay,
that's our understanding.
You have to remember, folks.
U.S. These are all U.S.
Yes, these are U.S. prices. Okay, we don't have any other pricing other than U.S. right now.
Right.
Everything's in flux right now because of the exchange rate and stuff. We as Canadians, we're hoping that our stronger dollar now, and combined with the fact that maybe we're going to lose that 6.1% tariff. Elon did make a point in the presentation last night that this car is 3/4 American made.
Yes. But he hasn't answered any of my questions about tariffs for Canada, and that may impact other parts of the world.
And in Canada, we have to pay a 6.1% import duty. It's bundled into the price of the Model S, and that's why the Model S is so expensive. So we're hoping that we don't have to pay that when we get the car. So that combined with exchange rate, we're still factoring it's going to be about $45,000 to $47,000 as a base price plus the options. So this is not going to be a cheap car for those who want good options on it, but it's still half the cost of a Model S for equivalent functions. So the other thing too is enhanced autopilot is still a separate purchase. It's not included in any of these bundles. The prices have not changed. It's still $5,000 US, and the full self-driving capability is $3,000 over and above enhanced autopilot. So it's still an $8,000 US option. We already know what those cost in Canadian dollars, so if you want to look that up, you can just look that up. Yep. You're not obligated to buy it right when you get the car. You can always do the software activation later on if you so will.
One thing we did discuss after the fact was we're a little disappointed in the pricing ratio. You've been saying since day one that you were hoping that they would price the options relative to the pricing of the car. They are, in our opinion, a little high for what they could be on the Model 3. So we're a little disappointed in that, but they are making it easier and adding a lot of the common features that people want in options into those packages.
Yeah. So keep in mind, folks, way less options on the Model 3. It's basically premium interior, wheels, paint, and what battery size you want. Well, range, sorry, not battery size. We got to get that in our minds, right? We got to get that.
Yeah.
So you can't do a lot of a la carte stuff anymore. The white seats have been confirmed to come in the future, and then the base car will have a different fabric or something on the seats later on. So we'll see what that happens. Let's talk about weight. 3,549 pounds on the base car. If you get the upgraded range, it's a little heavier, coming in at 3,800 pounds.
14,
yeah.
Which is still pretty light. It's lighter than we thought it was going to be.
Well, it's 1,000 pounds lighter than a Model S.
Yeah.
So that
and you're not giving up that much physical volume space. What's 80%, almost 90% the size of an S. So
yeah,
which is pretty outstanding. And I think that's another reason that it was quieter. And very nimble when he was driving it. Shorter turning radius, right, when they were doing the loops. Like,
way shorter turning
really
radius on this car. You can get in and out of parking spots. That's one of the concerns, and we were talking about this with Caleb Elston last night too, that we felt that Model S is a really big car. When you go to park it, it just feels so big because the turning radius and the the lock from side to side on the wheel, I mean, it's just not enough room. But the Model 3 was just doing circles on stuff, so it's really tight. One other thing before I forget. Let's talk about the frunk and the trunk. Now, they would not let us open the trunk or the frunk, but there are videos on YouTube where they did open those. Motor Trend did an excellent article. There's great pictures of the trunk and the frunk open. So let's talk about the frunk, the front trunk. It is deeper and bigger than the Model 3 Alpha prototype. It has two grocery bag hooks when you open it up. You can flip them out so you can hang your grocery bags on it. Looks like it's carpet lined on the bottom. You can definitely put like some kind of carry-on bag or something in there. So it's not as big as the Model S, but it looks fairly decent.
The Tesla employee was joking that anything bigger than, if you put a bag in there that doesn't fit, then it's not a carry-on.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad to hear that. For small groceries and stuff, you can put stuff in there. That's great. Now, the other big elephant in the room everybody wants to know is how big is the trunk. Now, there's some great pictures on there. So the first thing you need to know, the Model 3 still retains the deep well at the bottom. There's a cover, and you can remove that, and there's a well on the bottom where you can put all your stuff. The seats fold 60-40 split, so you can open those up, and you can put stuff inside the car. The trunk looks like it's really big. For this size of class car. I don't have any problems with the trunk on this one. It does look like they made the interior opening, not the lid, but the interior opening. Looks like they've...
The mouth of it.
The mouth of it, if you will, the aperture, if you will. Looks like they have increased the size, moved it up a little bit wider than the Alpha. Again, it's tough to see because we don't have the Alpha to compare against, but...
I'll find one. You keep talking.
Yeah. And let's see here. It's fully carpet lined.
So there's a shelf, and then there's a
like that.
deep well.
It's not carpet. It's like that fiber lined stuff.
Yeah, like a pickup truck or something. Well, you line the.
It's not plastic. It's a fiber based material.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like most other cars. Let me see what else.
The well in it.
Yeah, like I said, it has the well in there. So there's a cover, so you can put stuff in the bottom.
Franz said they could put a bike in there easy enough.
Yeah, Franz owns one of the first ones. His is fully loaded, and he says he puts his bike in
60-40 split. We did not get an opportunity to lower the seats, open the trunk or frunk, anything like that.
Our test rides in these cars were literally 3 minutes. It's like you're in and out.
Yeah.
And we were not allowed to take more rides. We tried. They wouldn't let us to take more rides because I could have spent more time doing stuff in there. Okay, let's see here.
I'm just going to try to find the other trunk, so you keep talking first.
Okay.
Just to compare it to while you're doing that. Here's a good shot of. You can just.
Is there anything else on there?
The 12-way, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
nice
in case we didn't,
you're comfortable with the seats.
The seats were very comfortable, better than the base Model S seats I sat in. That's for sure. So I'm happy with that. They are 12-way adjustable, but that's part of the premium package.
Yes.
So probably manual seats. Folks, if you do a Google search, google.com, and search for Model 3, all the pictures from the Motor Trend article have been posted there, and you can look at the pictures. Some really great pictures on there, the frunk and the trunk.
So they are. I'm trying to get into my Tesla account, but for some reason it's not letting me get into it. It just keeps going to
the servers are completely overloaded, folks. Don't bother. There's nothing really to see in there.
But we are seeing people post photos. Must be California based for now, or West Coast. For
I was
Model
able.
3
I
estimates.
saw this morning.
You saw this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw this morning.
So they're saying first production vehicles at, depending on the package, at the $49,000 package, November to January for first production.
Yeah,
and then
the base cars will be January to March.
Yes, for standards.
And then dual motor, they're claiming, is going to be later next year, September to November. So for those of you,
a year away.
Yeah, so for those of you who want all-wheel drive, you're going to have to wait a while.
Right, and that ties into what we've been surmising from a Canadian delivery perspective and rest of world outside of U.S. Mexico and others, probably Europe as well. Anything with a left-hand drive configurations of the second half of next year. So by the time it's going to come to your country, most likely all-wheel drive will be an option that you can order at that time.
I heard someone comment last night that they were able to confirm that Tesla has 79,000 U.S. tax credits left. So that would, if they get their production up, that should last until sometime late in the first quarter and going into the second quarter of next year. So those of you who want basic cars should be able to claim the full tax credit. Keep in mind, it's a phase out, so even when those credits expire, there's still a certain amount of quarters where those tax credits will expire. So I don't have all the details, but that's kind of the numbers that they're talking about that.
And that's a U.S. specific.
Yeah, exactly.
Program.
So other parts of the world, whatever you have is available to you.
You'll have to check your local.
Exactly.
Yeah. From a Canadian perspective, and specifically Ontario, we didn't talk about this, but we were talking about it at breakfast about the incentive program, how powerful it is that you get $14,000 as a rebate in Ontario for the Model 3. I did talk to one of my local MPPs, Minister of Provincial Parliament, last week, who's not in the governing party right now. She's in a different party, but I asked her, if parties switch in an election, what happens to these programs? I mean, is there, it's a pretty important program. And she says they typically don't get, if they're running fine, they don't get changed. So they'll let it run its course, and if it's a program that's working, then usually that new government coming in will continue on with that program.
Yeah.
So it looks like, at least from an Ontario perspective,
it's funded.
It's not going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, so
so
we're
I
okay
think
that way.
everybody that's got reservations from our territory will be able to capitalize on that.
So somebody's asking here, Model 3 versus Model S CPO. You know what? That is
just talking about.
We had that discussion this morning, and that's something you're going to have to weigh against stuff. So yeah,
no rebate.
Yeah, you have to weigh that
Ontario.
against, exactly. So you got to be careful with that type of thing. You're going to have to weigh that out if you want a car really, fast and stuff. So our take on it is the base price of the Model 3 is half the cost of what equivalent of a Model S is. However, the options pricing on the Model 3 are Model S equivalents.
Yeah.
So, paint is still $1,000 and the wheels are $1,500 upgrade. So, there's some minor discrepancies in terms of the pricing compared, but they're still what we feel a little bit elevated than what they should be. But hey, this is Tesla. I mean, what do you do? This is not an economy car, folks. This is it's a premium electric sedan, a compelling one, mind you, but it's not going to be a cheap car. So you'll have to weigh these options out. Now, there are Model S's available in the U.S. now, and some of them are breaking the $38,000 price range. So that's something you have to weigh. Keep in mind, most of those cars at that price range don't have Autopilot. So if you value that, Autopilot elevates the price of the vehicle because Autopilot's only been really available for the last couple of years. So that's something you have to take into account. Let's see here. What else can we talk about?
I'm just trying to find that trunk comparison. So that's the best one that we have.
Okay, so open the other one there because I'm looking at the corner here.
Yeah.
Yeah, look. Yeah, it definitely looks like the trunk on the back has been widened.
Very slightly.
Yeah, the aperture on the back, not the lid. Forget about the lid. They don't change anything on the lid. Yeah. But it looks pretty close.
Looks pretty close.
Yeah.
But not a huge change.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that more when we do a formal show and we put stuff together.
Yeah.
What else as far as stats
what else? Again, the press site from Tesla has all the details, Motor Trend's articles. Everybody's pushing out the same information. So there's a lot of good detail out there. And if you just Google Tesla press kit.
Yeah, just go to tesla.com/press kit, one word, and it looks like most of the stuff, everything is on there, and you'll see the Model 3's right at the top, so you can start seeing their specs and stuff and what's in there. Anyhow, we should cut it off for now. Again, our takeaway from the Model 3 is that it really represents, I think, in some ways, the next level quality. Not features, not performance, but the quality of the car, what they've learned from making Model S and Model X is showing on this car. Everything, it felt tight, really well put together. And I think in some ways the Model S is going to have to get caught up in a lot of ways. So I would expect to see a Model S refresh sooner than later, at least on the interior, because it's got to get out. Because the
sorry, folks. Come in.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All we can say, it's really up to your preferences. I believe we are in single motor vehicles. I didn't hear anybody mention that they were AWDs yesterday.
No, these were all rear-wheel drive. The cars that we
were fine.
Okay, so the cars we rode in last night were production cars. These were not souped up. They were basically what the owners are getting now, meaning rear-wheel drive, larger battery packs, premium interiors. That's it. That's what we rode in. So if we were to buy a car today, if it was available to us, that's what we would get. That's what we rode in. So they were being honest about it.
Yeah.
So we're just glad they're actually in production.
Yeah.
They did.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to mention they did make 50 cars this month. 30 of them went to first owners. The rest of them were used for validation and the test drives and stuff last night. So they're definitely. I think the numbers are going to be good over the next few months and stuff. If they keep that pace going, I mean, Elon made it very clear last night that they have a lot of work ahead of them. And the employees knew that this was going to be production hell for a little while,
and it's going to continue for at least 6 to 8 months, 9 months. He said.
Yeah.
So he was kind of talking about that. There was no mention of XM radio, satellite radio on the support, but it might be there once you dig in a little further. in the options. Somebody asked about quiet. As we said at the top of the show, they're very quiet. So
Very
I mean,
quiet
the guy didn't slam on it. We didn't get a chance. The test drive was a very short loop, so we couldn't open it up. But it was very quiet. I didn't hear the motor whine, so I'm sure if you stomped on it, you'll get a little bit. But I believe it's quieter than the S.
Yeah.
And they are different motors, if I'm understanding.
Yeah, this is all
right?
new.
They're more
Everything
efficient.
new. In my
motors.
opinion, the only thing that's shared between the Model 3 and the Model S are the mirrors. Everything else is new in this car.
Now, charging rates, we've had a quick question on the press site.
Yes,
It's 32 amp for the standard battery configuration and 40 amp for the long range battery configuration. So 30 miles of range per hour versus 37 on the higher end. You know, if you have the capabilities to get the higher end amperage for your home chargers, do it. You know, it'll squeeze it as much as it can. But that's all the information we have right now, as far as there's no dual chargers or anything like that.
That's right. They did mention supercharging is on the paid program. They haven't specified whether it's still 400 kilowatt hour per year, but it's definitely a paid program. I'm sure they'll have more details shortly on that. But warranty. It just came up.
Yep.
So the Model 3 has a 4-year, 50,000 mile vehicle warranty, and it has an 8-year, 100,000 mile drivetrain warranty. So pretty close to the Model
battery
S.
warranty means, right?
Well, battery and drivetrain.
Okay.
It's combined.
And 120,000 miles for the long range battery.
So the big so it's another 20,000 miles. That's excellent. So
huge.
Yeah, I think we're pretty well covered with that. So we have to cut it off, folks. I know there's still questions coming in. Please rewatch the live stream. It'll be archived on our channel here once we're done. And I think most of the questions you had answered. If we have any more, I'm sure more stuff will come up in our mind.
Yeah. And by the way, he didn't mention anything for the early reservation holders as far as a surprise. There was no mention.
Yeah,
of
there's
anything,
nothing.
So
They have
wait and see.
Yeah, it was short and sweet.
It was short and sweet. Yeah. Exactly.
So we're going to cut it off. Ken's heading back. I'm on vacation in San Francisco. I'm going to tweet a little bit, but I need some downtime, folks. So if you want to discuss with other members and other things going on, please go to the Model 3 Owners Club forum. Sign in. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Jump in there. And we'll just do our little plug again. So my Twitter handle is @Model3Owners. Ken's is at
Kenneth
Pecor. And don't forget to sign up. And don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. That way you get instant notifications what's going on. Last but not least, we want to thank Kim and PJ from the Like Tesla team. They were the ones that gave us the +1 that allowed us to get out here tonight. And we also want to say a special thanks to our Patreon supporters who helped us defer some expenses to get down here. So
thank you very much for that.
We really appreciate it, folks.
Appreciate it,
if you'd like to pledge and keep the channel alive and help pay for things, you can check it out at patreon.com/Model 3 Owners Club, and everything you can. I mean, if you just take a look at it, that's great. If you feel like pledging, we'd really appreciate it.
Right. We'll do a show in a couple of weeks. You're on holidays next week. I'm on holidays the week after, so it'll be closer to mid-August before we get back into studio. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
And do a proper show. But by then, there'll be a lot more clarity and information come out. Hopefully, we'll get some more delivery estimates and more details regarding the options. So
sounds good.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for watching and for tuning in and for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you and catch you on the next one.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.